What if the safety of everything you love, the land, the animals, the family you fought to protect, was threatened in an instant? What if a single spark turned your entire world into an inferno? Heartland Season 19 wastes no time pulling you straight into chaos, heartbreak, and impossible choices. Episode 1, Risk Everything, doesn't just open a new chapter, it explodes into one. A peaceful night on the ranch turns deadly when a wildfire roars out of control, sweeping across the land faster than anyone can react. In one terrifying heartbeat, the Fleming family's sanctuary is under siege. Horses scream in panic, smoke chokes the air, and flames race closer to the only home Amy Fleming has ever known. But the real danger isn't just the fire, it's the moment Amy realizes one life could be lost if she doesn't act. A pregnant mare, terrified and trapped, stands directly in the fire's path. And to save her, Amy will have to risk everything, even her own life. It begins quietly, too quietly. The Alberta sky stretches wide and clear, stars shimmering like distant candles, while the Heartland Ranch rests under its familiar peaceful hush. Amy sits on the porch, a rare moment of calm after weeks of emotional turmoil. Ty's shocking return still lingers in her heart like an open wound, questions unanswered, pain unresolved, but tonight, for just a breath, she lets the cool night air soothe her. Nathan's steady presence earlier in the day was comforting, though unspoken tension remains between them. Life feels fragile, but almost normal, until the wind changes. A strange scent drifts in first, faint, sharp, and wrong. Smoke. Amy frowns and stands, scanning the distant tree line. A low breeze stirs the grass, whispering of something far away, yet coming closer. Then, from the horizon, an eerie orange glow flares to life, small at first, but quickly growing, hungry and wild. Her heart slams against her ribs. She knows that light. Fire. By the time she runs inside to alert Jack and Tim, the night is already alive with danger. Flames, whipped by dry winds, are tearing through the forest faster than anyone could have imagined. A wildfire, unexpected and merciless, is heading straight toward Heartland. Jack's face hardens instantly. This isn't the first time nature has threatened their home, but the ferocity of this blaze is different. Lou's voice shakes as she tries to reach the fire department, but static and chaos crackle through the line. They're not the only ones in danger tonight. The whole valley is under threat. Panic spreads quickly. Horses whinny and stomp in their stalls, sensing the approaching catastrophe. The smell of smoke thickens, curling under doors and windows like warning fingers. Tim bursts into action, shouting orders to load trailers, to move fast, to get out while there's still a chance. Lou gathers Lindy, her face pale but determined, while Katie clings to her mother's side, wide-eyed and silent. Even as fear threatens to swallow them, the Fleming family moves with the quiet strength they've always had when disaster strikes. But Amy's heart isn't calm. She races to the barn, hands shaking as she unclips halters and leads panicked horses into waiting trailers. Spartan snorts and tosses his head, but Amy soothes him with a trembling voice, guiding him to safety. One by one, horses are loaded, each saved life giving her a tiny spark of hope. The air is growing hotter now, the night sky no longer black, but bleeding red as embers drift like deadly snowflakes. Then, amid the frantic chaos, Amy hears it. A cry. Not a human scream, but the desperate, high-pitched whinny of a horse still trapped. She freezes, scanning the stalls. They're empty. Everyone's been moved, haven't they? But the sound comes again, sharp and terrified, pulling at her instincts like a physical force. She runs toward the sound and stops dead when she sees her. In the far paddock, cut off by a section of old fencing and tangled brush, stands Phoenix's legacy, a young pregnant mare they recently took in, nervous and skittish since arriving. No one realized she'd bolted during the evacuation. Now she's cornered, thrashing and panicked, with flames creeping across the dry field toward her. Her wide, terrified eyes catch Amy's, and something inside Amy ignites stronger than fear. This mare isn't just another horse. She's a life about to bring new life into the world. "Amy, we've got to go!" Jack's voice roars from behind her, urgent and commanding. But Amy doesn't move. Every survival instinct screams at her to turn back, to get in the truck, to protect herself and her daughter waiting in safety. Yet her heart, the part that has always chosen love and life over fear, won't let her leave the mare to die. She whirls around, eyes locking with Jack's. "She's pregnant," Amy says, voice trembling but firm. "I can't leave her." Jack's face goes pale with the weight of understanding. "Amy, no, it's too dangerous." But Amy is already moving, cutting across the paddock with Spartan at her side, smoke stinging her lungs. The ground is hot beneath her boots. The air tastes like ash. She can hear the fire roaring now, louder than thunder, closer than it should be. Each second she hesitates, the flames advance. Legacy rears and screams, but Amy talks to her through the chaos, voice calm though her heart is racing. Behind her, she can hear Nathan shouting her name, his voice breaking with fear. He's running after her, but the smoke is thick, the visibility low. Jack yells for him to stop, to stay back, but Nathan ignores him, determined not to let Amy face this alone. The fire line is just yards away now, a living wall of heat and rage. Amy knows if she doesn't act fast, they'll all be trapped. She pushes forward, reaching for Legacy's halter with hands that refuse to shake. "It's okay, girl," she whispers, her own tears mixing with sweat and smoke. "I'm here. I've got you." But just as Legacy begins to calm and Amy prepares to lead her away, the wind shifts. A violent gust sends sparks and flaming debris swirling toward them. The fence behind Amy catches fire with a terrifying whoosh, cutting off the only safe path she had planned. For a split second, panic threatens to break through. They're surrounded. The fire is faster, meaner than she imagined. And now, the way out is gone. In that burning chaos, one thought echoes in Amy's mind like a warning bell. If she can't find another way out, both she and Legacy will be lost. But what Amy doesn't know is that the fire isn't the only danger closing in tonight. Will she find a way to save herself and the mare, or has she just stepped into a trap far worse than the flames themselves? Smoke curls thick and black around Amy, swallowing her in its choking embrace. The heat is unbearable now. Blistering waves that feel alive, pressing closer, hungry to consume everything in their path. Legacy's nostrils flare as she rears again, trembling and slick with sweat. Amy coughs, blinking through tears and soot, her lungs screaming for clean air. She can barely see more than a few feet ahead, but turning back is no longer an option. The fence behind her is a wall of fire. Somewhere in the chaos, she hears Nathan's voice again, raw, desperate. "Amy, where are you?" It cuts through the roar of the flames like a lifeline. Relief crashes into her chest, but it's tangled with fear. He shouldn't be here. It's too dangerous. Yet part of her is grateful he came. "I'm here," she shouts back, her voice hoarse and ragged. "Nathan, she's trapped." Through the smoke, Nathan's silhouette emerges like a ghost. His eyes, wide and wild, lock on hers before flicking to Legacy. Without hesitation, he wades through the haze toward them, yanking his jacket off and swinging it wildly to push back sparks. For a brief second, Amy sees something in his face. Not just fear, but fierce determination. This isn't about rivalry or love right now. It's about survival. "We have to move now," he shouts, his voice cracking. "There's a break in the flames to the north." Amy nods. But Legacy panics, jerking hard against the halter and nearly knocking Amy off balance. "She won't move," Amy cries, frustration and terror lacing her words. Nathan doesn't hesitate. He steps beside Amy, calm but commanding. "We can do this." On 3, he meets Amy's eyes, steady and sure despite the inferno closing in. 1, 2, 3. Together they pull, Amy speaking softly, Nathan pushing gently at the mare's flank, coaxing rather than forcing. Legacy snorts and tosses her head, but takes a shaky step forward. Then another. The small victories feel monumental against the chaos around them. But time is slipping away. Above them, the sky glows red and gold, ash swirling like dark snow. The fire crackles and pops, devouring everything behind them. Amy's throat burns with every breath. Each step feels heavier than the last. But they keep going, one desperate step at a time. As they push forward, Amy's mind races as fast as her pounding heart. It's impossible not to think about what brought her here, to this moment of raw danger. Ty's face flashes in her mind, his sudden reappearance days ago still a wound she doesn't know how to heal. She wonders, would he be proud of her right now? Angry that she's risking her life? The thought stings, but she pushes it away. This isn't about the past or the pain Ty brought with him. This is about saving an innocent life. Yet even here, with fire surrounding them, Nathan's presence is impossible to ignore. He doesn't waver, doesn't complain, doesn't let go of the rope even when smoke scorches his throat. Amy steals a glance at him, his jaw set, his face streaked with ash but unwavering. In this moment, she sees him not just as the man who's been there for her, but as someone willing to risk everything too. Something shifts inside her, unspoken but undeniable. Finally, after what feels like endless steps, the smoke begins to thin just enough to see beyond the chaos. There, an opening. A narrow dirt path cutting away from the main blaze. It's not safe, but it's their only chance. "This way!" Nathan shouts, tugging gently but firmly on Legacy's lead. Amy follows, whispering encouragement to the trembling mare. Each step is a gamble. The wind could shift again. The fire could leap forward without warning. But it's hope, and right now hope is all they have. Then, just as they near the break, a sharp, cracking boom splits the night. A flaming tree crashes down behind them, missing them by mere feet. Legacy bolts in terror, nearly ripping the rope from Amy's hand. She digs in her heels, gripping tight, but the mare's strength is wild and frantic. "Amy, let go!" Nathan yells, but she shakes her head furiously, coughing against the smoke. "No, she's pregnant! I'm not leaving her." But Legacy isn't thinking. She's pure panic now, rearing and pulling with everything she has. Amy's boots skid in the dirt, her grip slipping inch by inch. In one terrifying moment, she loses her footing and stumbles to the ground, dragged toward the blaze by the panicked mare. "Amy!" Nathan dives forward, grabbing her arm just as she's about to be pulled into the fire. His other hand grabs the lead rope, fighting Legacy's full force. The struggle is brutal. Man against fear, love against death. For a moment, it seems they'll lose, but somehow, together, they manage to calm the mare, holding her steady enough for Amy to scramble to her feet again. Both of them are shaking, coughing, but alive. Barely. "We can't stay here," Nathan rasps, eyes red from smoke. "We have to go. Now." Amy swallows the fear threatening to choke her and nods. Legacy, exhausted and trembling, finally seems to understand and follows as they inch toward the break in the fire line. But just as safety seems within reach, Amy freezes. Over the roar of the flames, another sound cuts through, a faint but unmistakable cry. Not Legacy, not any horse they know. Something else. Another life still out there. Amy turns, eyes wide and searching through the smoke. "Did you hear that?" she gasps. Nathan's face goes pale. "No, Amy, no, we're out of time." But Amy's heart clenches like a fist. There's someone else out there. Another soul, trapped and terrified. She can't ignore it. She can't walk away. She meets Nathan's eyes, determination blazing even through the smoke. "I have to find it." Nathan shakes his head violently, panic etched across his face. "Amy, if you go back, you might not come out again." But Amy's already stepping toward the sound, pulled by something stronger than fear, stronger than logic, because she knows the fire isn't just threatening their land. It's threatening everything Heartland stands for. And she can't turn her back now. But what she doesn't realize is that going deeper into the fire could lead her straight into another danger, one she never saw coming. What's waiting for Amy in the smoke-filled darkness? And will this next decision cost her everything she's fighting so hard to save? The night feels alive with danger. Each breath Amy takes burns like fire itself, and still she moves forward, following that faint, desperate sound. The fire snarls around her, shifting and snapping as if trying to push her back, but she doesn't stop. Nathan's shouts echo behind her, growing fainter with every step. He's begging her to come back, his voice ragged and broken. But Amy can't, not while she knows something or someone is still out here, fighting to survive. Her boots crunch over scorched ground as she pushes through the heavy smoke. Every nerve in her body is screaming that this is reckless, deadly even. But her heart, the same heart that's always refused to let go, drives her forward. Then she sees it. Through the haze, a dark, trembling shape appears. A foal, tiny, terrified, its gangly legs shaking beneath it. Amy's breath catches. It must belong to one of the ranchers nearby. Maybe it got separated when the fire spread. Alone and weak, it won't survive another minute in this hell. Oh, baby. Amy's voice is hoarse but gentle. She crouches low, hands outstretched, speaking in soft tones even as smoke stings her eyes. It's okay. I've got you. The foal stumbles but doesn't run. It's too exhausted. Relief floods Amy's chest. Carefully, she loops a rope around its neck, coaxing it closer. It trembles violently but lets her pull it toward safety. Then from behind her, a crash. Amy spins, heart pounding. A tree, fully engulfed in flames, topples across the narrow clearing she came through. The way back is gone. For the first time, panic claws deep into Amy's chest. She's cut off. Nathan's voice is gone now, swallowed by the roar of the wildfire. She's alone, with 2 frightened horses depending on her, and no clear way out. Her brain races, searching for another escape. That's when she spots an old service road cutting through the trees, half overgrown and blocked by debris, but still passable if she can clear it. She tugs the foal and legacy behind her, voice steady but shaking as she encourages them forward. Every step feels heavier. Her lungs are screaming. Sweat stings her eyes. But she keeps going, one desperate move at a time. She's almost to the road when she hears something that makes her freeze. A low rumble, not from the fire but from an engine. Headlights slice through the smoke. Relief crashes over her. Someone's here. But as the vehicle gets closer, her relief turns to confusion. And then fear. It's not the fire department. Not Jack or Tim. The truck is dark, unfamiliar. Its windows tinted. It stops abruptly, just feet away. Amy instinctively shields the foal with her body. Her heart pounds against her ribs as 2 figures step out, silhouettes barely visible through the haze. Need a hand? One calls, voice low and edged with something she can't name. Amy hesitates, instinct screaming at her to be careful. Who are you? She demands, coughing through the smoke. The man steps closer, his face shadowed but eyes sharp and too calm for a night like this. Just neighbors, he says smoothly, helping with the evacuation. But something about him feels wrong, off in a way Amy can't explain. The second man glances at Legacy and the foal with a look Amy knows too well. Calculating, interested, like someone sizing up property. Amy's chest goes cold despite the heat around her. These aren't neighbors. And suddenly, a memory slams into her. Ty's haunted look when he came back. His warnings he couldn't quite voice. The danger he carried might not have been left behind after all. She takes a slow step back, pulse hammering. We're fine, she says, trying to sound firm. The fire's moving fast. You should go. The man smiles, but it's wrong. Too smooth. Too knowing. We're not leaving without helping. Before Amy can react, Nathan bursts through the smoke like a lifeline, coughing and staggering, but alive. His eyes lock on the strangers, instantly hardening with protective fire. Amy, get back! He shouts, stepping between her and the men. Nathan's sudden presence shifts the air. He's not just here to help her now, he's a shield. Who are you? He demands, voice cold and steady, despite his ragged breathing. The first man shrugs. Told you. Neighbors Nathan doesn't believe it for a second. Neither does Amy. Then the man's gaze slides back to the foal and the mare, and a flicker of recognition hits Amy like a thunderclap. Animal traffickers. Ty's enemies. Could these be the same people who forced Ty into hiding all those years? Her stomach turns to ice. Before she can speak, the wind shifts again, sending a fresh wall of smoke barreling toward them. The strangers take a step forward, one reaching for the lead rope tied to Legacy. Amy reacts on pure instinct. Don't touch her, she snaps, stepping forward despite her fear. Nathan squares his shoulders, ready to fight if he has to. His voice is sharp and full of warning. Get back. Now, for a tense moment, time seems to stop. The only sounds are the crackling fire and the terrified breathing of the horses. Then the men exchange a glance. Dark, unreadable. One smirks as if making a silent promise, and without another word, they back away into the smoke, vanishing as suddenly as they appeared. Amy's entire body shakes with adrenaline. Who were they? She whispers, though deep down she already knows the answer. Nathan's jaw tightens. The kind of people Ty didn't want near you. The weight of those words slams into her harder than the heat of the fire. If Ty went into hiding because of men like that, then his past isn't past at all. It's here. It's back. There's no time to process. The flames are roaring again, closer now, alive and unstoppable. Nathan grabs her arm, urgency snapping them back into survival. We have to move, now! Amy nods, still trembling but fueled by sheer willpower. She takes Legacy's rope with one hand and holds the foal close with the other. Together, she and Nathan push forward, racing toward the service road, lungs burning and hearts pounding. But as they finally break through to clearer air, a terrifying thought hits Amy like a lightning strike. If those men were here, so close to the ranch, then the danger Ty feared is already inside Heartland's borders. And as the night burns behind them, one truth becomes painfully clear. This fire isn't the only threat coming for her family. But if Ty's enemies have returned to Hudson, what are they after now? And how far will they go to get it? By the time Amy, Nathan, and the frightened horses finally break free of the fire line, the night feels like a living nightmare slowly fading into dawn. The first pale light of morning creeps across a smoky horizon, revealing a Heartland none of them recognize. The once green fields are blackened and charred, fences reduced to ash, and the sweet scent of hay replaced by the acrid stench of burned earth. Sirens wail in the distance as emergency crews fight to contain what's left of the wildfire. Amy staggers, lungs burning, hair singed, clothes streaked with soot. Legacy and the foal collapse to trembling knees, exhausted but alive. Relief crashes over her like a tidal wave, but it's sharp and fleeting because the image of those two shadowed men still burns brighter than the fire itself. Nathan's hand is suddenly at her back, steady and warm despite the shaking in his own body. You okay? His voice is rough from smoke, but soft in a way that almost undoes her. Amy nods, though tears slip down her ash-streaked cheeks. We made it, she whispers, more to herself than to him. But as her eyes sweep the scorched horizon, she knows that surviving the fire was only one battle. Something darker is moving underneath it all, something she's just now beginning to understand. Because those men weren't just opportunists, they came with purpose. And if they're tied to the same forces Ty once fought to keep away from Heartland, then the nightmare Amy feared most isn't the flames. It's the past coming back for them. Jack's truck roars toward them, Tim beside him, both men pale with fear. When they leap out and see Amy alive, relief floods their faces. But it's laced with shock. Jack's hands tremble as he cups Amy's face for a second, making sure she's really there. You scared the hell out of us, he says, voice rougher than usual. I had to save them, Amy says simply, looking back at Legacy and the foal. I couldn't just leave them. Tim glances at Nathan and nods, silent gratitude passing between the two men despite their complicated history. Nathan doesn't say anything. He just keeps his arm close enough to steady Amy if she falters. But when Amy tells Jack and Tim about the strangers in the smoke, the mood shifts instantly. Jack's face goes dark, his jaw clenching hard enough to crack. Tim swears under his breath and looks toward the horizon, scanning the tree line as though the threat might step back out at any moment. Are you sure? Jack asks quietly, but the way his voice trembles betrays how deeply this rattles him. I know what I saw, Amy says firmly, though her voice shakes. They weren't here to help. Silence stretches, heavy and sharp. Jack finally nods, grim and resigned. Then it's starting again. Nathan frowns. Starting what? Jack's eyes flick to Amy, then away. Something Ty spent years trying to stop. The words hang in the air like thunder. Amy's stomach twists painfully. Ty. Even when he's not here, his past still shadows everything. And then, as if the thought had summoned him, a familiar voice cuts through the smoky breeze. Amy. She spins, and there he is. Ty. Alive, soot-streaked, breathless, but standing just a few feet away. For a moment, the whole world seems to stop. Her knees nearly buckle at the sight of him. Ty, she breathes, 1,000 emotions crashing into her all at once. Relief, rage, love, fear. He doesn't run to her, doesn't pull her close. Instead, he stands still, face grave and eyes haunted in a way that makes her chest ache. I told you this would happen, he says quietly, voice breaking. I told you they'd find us. The silence after his words is deafening. Jack stiffens. Nathan's jaw tightens like steel. Amy's heart pounds so hard it hurts. What do you mean? She whispers, but deep down she already knows. Ty looks at her, pain and love tangled in his eyes. They came for me once. I thought I could keep you safe by staying away, but I was wrong. They're back, and now they know where to find you. A chill cuts deeper than the night air. The wildfire wasn't just nature's wrath. It was cover, chaos perfect for men who thrive in shadows. They weren't here by chance. They came for something. For him. Maybe for all of them. Suddenly, Amy understands. This fight isn't over. It's only just begun. But before she can say anything, the faint sound of another engine hums in the distance. A sound that doesn't belong to the fire crews. Everyone tenses instantly. Jack's hand moves to the rifle in the truck. Nathan steps closer to Amy without thinking. Ty's face goes pale but determined, as if bracing for what's coming. Amy's heart lurches painfully in her chest. She's just survived the fire, but a new storm is rolling in fast. Faster than any of them expected. For the first time in years, she's looking at Ty not just as the man she loved, but as the man whose secrets could burn everything she's rebuilt. And she knows one thing with terrifying clarity. Heartland isn't safe anymore. But if danger is here, if Ty's enemies have found their way back after all this time, then one question burns brighter than any flame. Will this family stand together and fight for the life they love, or will the shadows from Ty's past finally tear Heartland apart for good?